Hi, welcome. I'm Andrew. Thanks for coming to the talk, signing on. I hope everybody's staying healthy. All right, so super fast presentation. This is me. I'm Andrew. I'm the founder of Knowsi. I've worked at some of these places. You can contact me in these ways. I'm usually around. So what is Knowsi? Knowsi is an informed consent management system for research. You have a project dashboard. Participants get their own dashboards to manage their consent. It's easy to see consent summaries of what people have agreed to, and we have very easy form generators in addition to form templates and similar. So when we think about the research administration process, we tend to think of something that's quite linear and relatively easy, but the reality is that research administration is quite a bit more complex, involving both the experience of researchers and also the sort of like emotional context of participants who are engaging in the research. And so we see some of these concerns that participants have pop up in a lot of different ways, including specifically concerns around consent forms and what they're agreeing to. And so Knowsi is looking to create a context where that can be eased somewhat. So why use Knowsi? Ultimately, it's to take consent forms more seriously. We've seen a lot of situations where people are trying to gather consent for research just through these little checkboxes, but it's a sort of conflation of two different privacy laws. GDPR and the e-privacy directive. And in reality, consent needs to be a little bit more complex, a little bit more thorough in what you gather, and so it can't just be this. And for us, Knowsi is ultimately a Trojan horse for better privacy practices in research. It's a useful tool for researchers. It creates a seamless experience for participants, and it establishes a necessary liability shield for organizations. How does Knowsi do it? What does it do? So you create an organization within Knowsi when you sign up, and you can create different projects depending on your research plan or the way you do project management. An individual project has consent forms. It has kind of metadata associated with it, so you can have a quota, you can have a due date, stuff like that. And then you have the participants who are signed up for your research. Creating a form is easy. We actually have a template manager now. So individual universities might have their own consent form templates, and we can get those into the system. Just send me a note if you want to get your university's consent form on the platform. It's easy and free. And then you can edit the consent form to match the needs of your specific research. There's a consent wizard, so you can sort of select what consent you want to ask, and those can appear as summaries within the platform itself. And then when you're sent a consent form as a participant, you receive a link, and you just click on that link. You see all the context that's in the form. You can fill in your information, or in some cases, you'll just have that information sort of inline in there already if the researcher has included that. And then you select the things that you consent to. You indicate your contact options. So you can be contacted for future studies, for example. You sign either with your finger or your mouse, and then you're done. Now, afterwards, you'll receive a receipt in your email where you can just sort of confirm through that link, and then you can edit your consents as well as your contact information, your details, contact the researcher, and even do an automated GDPR-based deletion of your data. Then that, and I can answer some questions about that later because that's something that people are always curious about. And then you can edit your consents quite easily. That also goes the other way. So if a researcher reaches out and requests additional consents, it's very simple as a participant to just say, sure, that's okay, and sign, and you're good. And it's all sort of like kept in a single place. From the researcher perspective, you just receive a summary of what that participant has signed. You can see the consent form as well. And it's easy to sort of reach back out and contact them again. The Knowsi journey so far has been, complex. It's a small team, bootstrap project. But we were featured in the Harvard Kennedy School's privacy forecast for 2019 as sort of like tools to watch in the privacy space. And then more recently, we received a grant from Sage Publishing and the Sage Ocean Concept Grant to take Knowsi into the social science space. Knowsi is free to use. It's available. It's actively under development, so there's new features and new fixes being pushed all the time. You can make a free account. You get 5 consents free forever. And if you want to use some of the pro features like NDAs, open consent forms, and the automated data retention schedule, just use the code SAGE for 2 months free. Thank you.